Microsoft sort of spoiled the PlayStation announcement by spilling the beans. This is sort of a weird story and a weird situation, but I still feel like, Microsoft has all the right in the world to kind of come out with this because, hey, let's just be real. Sony was out there kind of spoiling a lot of things for Microsoft, and now we know a lot more about the behind-the-scenes situation or whatever. But this could be really big, but this really does give Microsoft plenty of time, in my opinion, to plan a bit of a counter-offensive where Sony is concerned, because let's just be real, Sony is continually trying to beat Microsoft to the punch, drive Microsoft into the ground. They're doing whatever they can. Let's just be honest about it. There's no sugarcoating it. These companies can say in front of us all they want that, hey, we like each other, we're nothing but respect and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I think most of us kind of know better by now. And I thought this was pretty interesting when I saw this. So I figured I'd get into it, and you guys would absolutely love this news. So let's hop on it. Microsoft, because of the court documents, expects Sony to launch a $400 PS5 Slim this year. Xbox also thinks the PS5 Pro console will be released in the near future, which we've already heard that's going to release next year. In documents published as part of the legal battle with the U.S. Federal Trade Commission, the company said it expects the new PlayStation 5 model to cost the same as the existing PS5 digital model, which is $100 less than the standard. The PlayStation likewise sells a less expensive digital edition for $399 and is expected to release a PlayStation 5 Slim later this year, and at this time reduced price point, according to Microsoft. The Xbox maker said it also believes Sony is prepping a launch of a PlayStation 5 Pro console. PlayStation, meanwhile, currently offers two different versions of the PlayStation 5, one with a Blu-ray player for physical media and one without, and is anticipated to release further differentiated Pro and Slim models in the near future. Now, last month, Sony announced a new PlayStation streaming portable device, Project Q. It was described as a dedicated device that enables you to stream any game from your PS5 console using remote play over Wi-Fi. While launch details and pricing weren't revealed, Microsoft said in its legal filings that Sony is anticipated to release a handheld version of the PlayStation 5 later this year for under $300. Of course, last year, Insider Gaming sources claimed Sony was planning to launch a new PlayStation model with a detachable disc drive around September of this year. They said that the console would be sold on its own or bundled with the detachable disc drive, which would also be sold separately and connect to the PS5 using an extra USB-C port on the back of the machine. It's claimed that this model is set to actually fully replace the original PS5 by the end of the year. Microsoft claims coincide with PS5 price promotions in Europe. Despite achieving record sales, the console has been significantly discounted in countries including the UK, Spain, Portugal, and France, leading to speculation that Sony could be looking to clear old stock before introducing a new model. Now, in the UK, Sony cut the price of 3 PS5 console bundles, the God of War Ragnarok, FIFA, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 bundle, available through the PlayStation Direct, from $539.99 to $479.99 on June 4th, and they're due to remain at this price until July 31st. Xbox boss Phil Spencer recently said the potential mid-cycle upgrades for Xbox isn't a priority for Microsoft. As for whether the company plans to release a more powerful Xbox Series X console, Microsoft head of gaming told Bloomberg he doesn't feel an imperative to do so. That's not feedback that we're getting right now. We're pretty set on the hardware we have, according to Phil the Man Spencer. Now, Microsoft and Sony both launched their current-gen consoles, Xbox Series X and S and PS5 respectively, in November 2020. While the companies have previously introduced major upgrades to their consoles after 3 or 4 years on the market, current generation supply issues caused by the COVID-19 pandemic hit adoption rates and may have impacted the timelines for any planned mid-cycle refreshes. During last month's Game Showcase, Microsoft announced a new black version of the Series S with 1 terabyte of storage. It's going to cost $350, which is $50 more than the existing 512 gigabyte model. So there is a lot of interesting things going on here. Again, I think this is very interesting news for multiple reasons, and I do think that, hey, Microsoft kind of spoiled this, but again, who really cares at the end of the day, because Microsoft is out here, kind of doing the work that I guess we probably already knew. Insider Gaming had already talked about this previously, and of course, now we know that, those things are definitely going to come to fruition. For me, it always seems silly to do a mid-gen refresh. Like Sony literally has done everything pretty much multi-platform, save a few games, and even the big ones like God of War, and Horizon and GT were all cross-gen games. So you're telling me they want to sell us a new console before they even really start coming out with big haymakers on the old. So yeah, you know, I'm not really interested in, if I was interested in buying pointless upgrades every 2 years or 3 years, I'd be a PC gamer, right? Like, let's just be real. At the end of the day, that's the group of people that realistically want to go out there and, you know, upgrade the stuff or whatever. I personally, I don't feel the need to. I upgraded right away last generation with both the PS4 Pro and then the Xbox One X, and I thought that those were decent, the Xbox One X more so, but really didn't give us any real reason to really do that, to be honest with you. I always felt like, especially with the Pro was concerned, that it wasn't really much of anything except for possibly, you know, taking away or helping the ability to use VR games. Like, that's what I thought that was used for. I used it for that. I never played PSVR on a base PS4, but it worked pretty good on the PS4 Pro, and that's how I still have one in the living room hooked up with the PlayStation VR. So, you know, we'll see what happens. What does everyone else think about this, though? How do you guys feel about what's going on with the PlayStation and getting extra, you know, a PS5 Pro and a PS5 Slim and this and that and the other? Like, how do you guys feel about that? Because I feel like there's going to be a lot of people feeling different ways. I think the super hardcore are going to be like, yeah, you know, they're going to be, of course, going to try to use this as console war fodder or what have you. For me personally, it's just one of those things that we seem to see happen kind of much too often, in my opinion. You know, I don't really care about a PS5 Pro. I don't even care about a Series X Pro or whatever you would call it, to be honest with you. You know, I think that it's not really needed. We haven't even got anything to use these things hardly. You know, most of the games got delayed, and you know, it's just one of those things where I just felt like we haven't really exactly got what we were promised yet on either. And you know, at some point I hope that we see something come about from all of this. So, you know, again, I might feel differently about it than you, but I'm very curious to hear what everybody else thinks about this. At the end of the day, you know, like I said, it is a very interesting sort of situation that we find ourselves in, where Microsoft has kind of leaked this information. So would love to hear your thoughts on it, on this. Do you think Microsoft should follow suit? I honestly kind of agree with Phil's take here. That doesn't mean that they won't do one, but I got a feeling if they did do one, it probably wouldn't be until 2025. So, you know, again, 5 years, if they really are planning to take this generation into 2028, doing one 2025 makes a lot of sense to me. So we'll see. You know, you'd probably be able to beat them in the power department as well. So, and probably just in time for stuff like Fable and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens. Rack 'em up. I'm Crap Gamer. Let me know what you think. Crap Gamer out.